What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome back to Knights of Pen and Paper for what should be the final episode. Unless I can't really get through this quest, and then, well, I will probably just delete this recording and you won't even know. Alright, so, here we go. Rescue Legend. Enemies will attack, blah blah blah, start. You have to defeat the dragons to test if the legend is true. Shall we proceed? Defeat 5 enemy waves and rescue the legend. Okay, wave 1. This green dragon thing, which I have already fought before. Owie! Jeez. Okay, tell you what. I'm gonna use weakening on the dragon first. Berserk. Because it's not like it's gonna target anything else. Alright, I'm gonna use ward for now. Okay. Put me to sleep and then attacked. Completely undoing the whole sleeping effect. But, you know, there was a critical hit in there because of that, I guess. Meh. Alrighty, smite! So, yeah, there's 4 or 5 of the... It said 5 enemy waves. But I think there were 5 dragons, aren't there? Green, blue, white, red, black. Maybe it's trying not to give away what's at the end, I don't know. Even though it has already done multiple things previously that kinda gave it away. So wait, smite does 75. I imagine that's a little bit more than the cleric's regular attack would do. Let's test it out. 45, yeah. Smite does a little bit more. Not a ton more, but still a bit more. Not quite dead. Oh, and now it's gonna heal, or at least try to. Okay. Green dragon down, but that's supposed to be the easiest one. Now for the blue dragon. What does this one do? Okay, it's weak to physical. I think that means I'm actually gonna end up killing this one quicker. Oh, jeez, yeah. Okay. Smite, just to restore some of his health. Attack. Owie! Okay, attack. Heart shot again. Restoration. And ward on the cleric. Okay, good. Yes, thank you for attacking my knight. I do want to at least make sure the cleric gets another turn in so he can heal some more. Smite. Okay, I guess that's good enough. And attack. And bleeding, you're dead. Or maybe it was dead before the bleeding. I don't know. Alrighty. So yeah, these just hit back to back to back. There's no in between. Alright, what does this one do? Okay, physical damage is regular. Heart shot. I'm gonna weaken it. Somehow I get the feeling this dragon would resist divine, if anything. Maybe just because the white coloring on it. Okay, figured I'd test that out. Just because I can, kind of. Oh, and it seems to be healing with its attacks. Lovely. Well, I'll continue using Smite anyway, just because Smite also heals my cleric. Okay, continue using Heart Shot. Another turn or two, and this guy should be done for. Ouch. Okay, I'm gonna use Restoration this time. Okay, bleeding killed it. These guys aren't really too bad. So then, you know, why was I hyping this up so much? Well, you'll find out after I fight all the dragons. Although the black one is kinda hard. I mean, it does have the most attack power and, like, the greatest health. And given the other dragons that I've fought, that means it's probably the one that's also resistant to physical damage, which of course is lovely for me because the vast majority of what my characters do is physical damage. Oh, great, burning, that's lovely. Smite heals back the burn damage. Continue using Heart Shots. Because, like, half the damage I've done to this dude... Well, not quite half. Maybe, like, a third of the damage I've done to this dude has been the, damage from the bleeding. Ouch! Okay, was not expecting Meteor. So do I use Restoration now? Or do I go with Circle of Healing? You know what? Circle of Healing. Yeah. Yeah, dead. Okay. Alrighty, and now for the Black Dragon, which does indeed resist physical. Ouch! Good gravy. What the heck? Ward on the Barbarian. Okay, frontline. Oh, and he also heals and stuff. Lovely. In fact, it practically looked like he healed from that. What the crap? That makes no sense. Ward. Holy crap, that did so little damage. That is nuts. Okay, I guess I'll try using the Greater Phoenix up. Well, this is absolutely lovely. I'm continuing to use Heart Shot just cuz. Okay, does that mean he's weak to magic? No, it seems magic just does normal damage. Great. First of all, weakening. Or was he already weakened? I don't think he was weakened. I think the cleric died before I could weaken him. Okay, Heart Shot. Just continuing to use Heart Shot. Yeah. Well, this is just going great. Alright, Smite. Smite is super effective. But that's it. That's like literally all I have that'll do any notable amount of damage to him. Well, ain't that lovely. I guess maybe the bleeding does a little damage as well, but... Ugh. Smite. Okay. Hard shot. Okay. Now that my characters aren't weak anymore, maybe they can deal a little bit more damage. Okay, 28. 105. Still going with Smite, because that's super effective. Defensive Strike deals 40. Ouch. Good golly. Okay, Ward on the Cleric. Attack. Cleric, use Rest... No. Use Weakening. Hard shot. Okay. Its turn is done for this round. So, Cleric can use Restoration. Kinda sucks that the character of mine that deals the most damage to this guy is also the only one with significant healing power. Okay. Smite. Defensive Strike. Always keep the knight shielded. Okay, you know what? I'll have the witch use Ward on himself, so I can continue having the cleric use Smite. Again, Heart Shot. Oh, jeez. Okay, you know what? Ward. Now I'm like double shielding the knight. For no apparent reason, really. Heart shot. Oh, geez, yeah. Smite. Okay, well, as things currently stand, I'm slowly chipping away at this dude. Oh, but now he's got healing stuff on again, which I believe also increases his physical resistance, which that's just lovely. Dang. Smite. I am doing hardly anything to this guy outside of using Smite now. I mean, the bleeding, like, chips away a tiny bit, but that thing usually means there's healing going on, too, so, like, I would guess the amount that he's healing is greater than the bleeding damage. But it doesn't really show that. Holy cow! What the heck? Oh. He has been unweakened. I don't know. I realize that sounds odd wording it like that, probably, but anyway, I'm still trying to use Smite as much as possible, because, like, it's the only source of really any notable damage against this guy. If I'm having this much trouble with this dude, then... just imagine what comes after. I realize I've kind of wavered back and forth between, like... giving away that there's more and not giving away that there's more. But yeah, there's more after this dude. Which really does not bode well. Heart shot again. Okay, he's pretty darn close to dying. Ward on the barbarian just to try and play it as safe as possible. But I think Smite should kill it. Hey! Alright. Victory there. Okay. So I continue this. You actually made it. Do you recognize this place? Pro tip, it's in your house. Mom? That's right. The final, hardest enemy in the game is literally your mom. Anyway, what to do here? Good grief. And she resists physical, lovely. Volley! That gets rid of the other rats along the sides. Ouch. And she gets 3 freaking consecutive turns. I guess weakening. But it's the meteor that's the bigger issue, really. Ward on, I don't know, the hunter. Heart shot. Okay, well that was less than preferred. Tell you what, Greater Phoenix up. Hopefully she doesn't decide to target the cleric again. Heart shot. Ouch. Freaking meteor. I mean... But at least it's looking kind of like there's somewhat of a chance as things stand. Smite. And she resists divine. She probably resists, like, everything. Because that's just how this game would work. Okay, heart shot again. Alright, not terrible. Smite again. Frontline because I can. Ward. Ow, with the meteor. Okay, you know what? Circle of healing. And dragon blood? That actually helped quite a bit. Ward. Heart shot again. Ow. Freaking meteors, man. It's weakening. So I don't end up dying from the other stuff. Ward. Should I use it on the hunter or the cleric? Cleric. Heart shot. Yikes. Okay, Circle of Healing, again. Dragon Blood. Ward on the hunter this time. Heart shot. I'm gonna be using Heart shot every stinking turn as long as I can. And the reason I haven't been using Berserk, although I would deal more damage that way, is because Berserk also increases the threat level. Okay, restoration. Restoration on the witch. The knight can use Dragon Blood again and heal quite a bit. In fact, heal practically everything. Heart shot. Okay, yay. You do your rolling pin stuff there. See if I care. Smite. Defensive strike. Just because I have nothing better for the witch to do, because I doubt it would do much physical damage. Okay, nice. Hey, if you want to keep doing that all day long, I am plenty fine with that idea. Okay, Dragon Blood again. Ward on yourself. Ow. Okay. You know what? Restoration. Dragon Blood. Okay. Now back to warding people. I think I'll go the Cleric first. Cleric... Really, the Cleric and the Hunter... Well, honestly, they're all kind of important to my strategy, except the Barbarian. The Barbarian is, like, the least critical to the current plan. You know what? I'm gonna use Weakening again. Because I really don't want that lapse in the damage reduction. Okay, Ward on the Hunter this time. Heart shot. Ow. Glad I used that. Okay. This time I'll go with Smite. Just to get some damage in there. Dragon Blood. Ward on yourself. Heart shot. Ouch. Again with the meteor. But honestly, not doing too terrible. I may actually win this when I didn't even really expect to. Mostly because heart shot. And because heals and stuff. Circle of healing. Why not? Defensive strike. Oh, it's so close. So close. Life drain. Heart shot. Victory! Which is crazy, because even in my other profile, I did not manage to beat her. That was, like... That was... stupidly not difficult by comparison. Anyway, okay. How could you? Wow, game is over, GGWP. Congratulations, you beat the game. You're a hardcore player. And is that really all it says? I feel like that would be another, like, roll credits moment. Like, not in the sarcastic CinemaSins kind of way either. Like, legitimate reason to roll credits again. But no, that literally, okay. That is everything. Maybe I did defeat her before with the other profile, and it was just way harder for some reason. Because I would think I would get an achievement for that, otherwise. But anyway, okay. That's it. that is the end of Knights of Pen and Paper +1 Deluxier Edition. So, yeah, well, on to other games, or at least other games more earnestly. So anyway, yeah. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. And in case you missed any of it, there's a whole playlist of me going through this game on my channel. So feel free to check that out, and while you're there, subscribe and click the notification bell to get updates when I post new stuff. You could also share the entire playlist with other people if you want them to see it, not just this specific video. But, so for anyone who's having trouble defeating Mom and is wondering what I used in all that, my character equipment is as follows. So on the Pizza Guy Cleric, I of course have max weapons. I have max weapons on all of them, weapons and armor. So I have the Jack-o'-lantern, the Greater Lava Amulet, Elite Harpy Beak, and a ruby necklace on the Pizza Guy Cleric. For Betu the Barbarian, I've got a ruby necklace, a Greater Lava Amulet, an Elite Harpy Beak, and a Snowflake Amulet. You could pretty much, well, no, don't assume Elite Harpy Beaks on all of them. On the Hipster Hunter, I have Dead Pixel, Fine Emerald Necklace, Elite Harpy Beak, and Greater Lava Amulet. For Gui the Witch, I have the 2-ring, the 4-ring, the Key to the Tear, and a ruby necklace. And for Miss Goldberry the Knight, I have a ruby necklace, the 1-ring, sunglasses, and a fine emerald necklace. Otherwise, it was just a matter of, well, I mean, you pretty much saw it. I used, Defensive Strike all the time with Miss Goldberry, and frontlined seemingly only once the entire battle. Frontlined, used Dragon Blood as needed to heal her. Gui the Witch, I pretty much just used Ward almost constantly on other people in the party. Used Heart Shot all the time with the Hunter because the bleeding damage. The Barbarian, I could have used Berserk, but I feel like that would have gotten him killed. So I chose not to, and just attacked right away with him. Just attacked all the time with him. And then the Cleric, I used Weakening as much as possible, and then other healing stuff as needed, really. And if you must know the finer absolute details of everything, the Cleric, I have the Circle of Healing at level 14, Smite at 13, Weakening at 12, Restoration at 10. The Barbarian, I have Adrenaline Rush, Sharpen Axe, and Bloodseeker all at 14, with Berserk at level 7. Hunter, I have the Bullseye at 13, everything else at 12. Gui, I have Familiar at 14, Life Drain and Nightmare at 12, and then Ward at 11. The Knight, I have Frontline at 10, which, okay, lasts for 12 turns. That's why I didn't. That's why I only had to use it once. Dragon Blood's at 12, Defensive Strikes at 13, Combat Skills at 14. So yeah, there's your advice from me on how to defeat Mom in this game. It wound up being way easier than I thought it would be, but hey, whatever. I probably would have died had she used the Meteor, like, consecutively turn after turn. But she didn't, so yeah, that worked out. Anyway, okay, that's all the explaining I have to do. For those of you who are actually looking for advice on this, which I realize may end up being the main reason anybody watches this video. So yeah, that's it. I think I mentioned stuff on my channel. Feel free to follow other social media pages. Info on that's down in the description below the video. Leave comments below with any other thoughts that you have on other games you might want me to play, any other video ideas that you have for me. Let me know if all the info I gave you at the end was helpful in figuring out how to defeat Mom, if that's why you're watching this. Otherwise, that's all I've got for you. So, I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for the next video. But until then, stay cool, people.